Commissioner Brienza just mentioned it, that if the dog is in a dog designated area, 1, 2, under the command or control of the representative or owner, 3, exercising or being trained, and I can show you a video right now of my dog hunting and fetching a pheasant and returning. That I am, then I don't know how you can define that as a dog at large.
Hey, Tom, if I'm not mistaken, I think we have dealt with this last month.
I mean, it was a different
dealt with
case.
a similar
yes,
case, yeah.
A similar case. And I think we came, I think it was stated, and I forgot who stated it, that no private entity or whatever has the right to supersede Anne Arundel County law. And if that is currently pending, I believe we have to go forward with the rules that are in place for this particular citation. So
Commissioner Evans, what rules are not in place here on the island?
Apparently the leash law.
Okay, it's not, I think just as a simple matter, on the date of this alleged incident, even if everything
17.
you're saying is correct, Mr. Burnham, and this is now a designated dog park, it was not a designated dog park on the date of this alleged citation. Am I correct?
Well, no, not according to these green pages.
Okay, so
I have no idea what you're showing me.
Mr. Lucy, 1 second, please. Again, now, within those green pages, does it include the road that your dog was off leash on?
May I, Commissioner Berger, may I read them
Sure.
to you now?
If you'd like, feel free for sure. But I'd like to see the geographical boundary. If you could explain the geographical boundary of what you claim to be the dog training area.
Well, in fact, these rules apply to the entire island. We have people who walk the island with dogs which never leave their side because they're so well trained.
So that's understood. But once again, we're talking about Anne Arundel County law, not the rule book. Now, I understand that if you were led to believe that was the rules based on a rule book, that's fine. But the Anne Arundel County law supersedes that rule book.
I get that. I served for 6 years in the Connecticut House of Representatives and was assistant minority leader. I've made many laws in my day.
Okay.
And voted on many laws. So I don't. But I think you are misinterpreting that, and maybe that's why we need to go to a court of law. But suffice to adjudicate that. But suffice it to say that we have multi-decadal rules, and I'll just be brief here. Animals running at large, if not contained on the owner's property, the animal needs to be under the control of the owner or the owner's representative. Whenever someone walking or on a bike or a cart or a car will be getting within 100 feet of you, you must have called your dog to heel and have a leash attached until the person is safely 100 feet beyond you. Please be thoughtful of those around you, et cetera, et cetera. So we have this a multi-decadal tradition on this island of being required to leash your dog when someone comes within 100 feet. Craig Lucy was 300 feet away from me. When he stopped, raised something in his right hand, had no idea what he was pointing at me. And just for the record, I felt threatened, and I felt threatened this morning, Craig, when you drove by to film me measuring the distance between where you stood in October and where I was in my golf cart training my dog on that October 17th day. So I am merely stating that what we're getting down to here, commissioners, is what is the definition of under control?
It's not, but you're missing the whole point. By definition in the statute, it's leashed and under control. If you were in fact a legislator, then you should be very familiar with the distinctions between and or.
Well, you can Google me, ma'am, and I assure you I was a legislator.
I mean no disrespect, sir, but the law does say leashed and under control, not leashed or. If it was or, I'd be right with you. I get it. It could be one of the two, but it's not an alternative. It's cumulative.
Except for the exclusion of off-leash dog parks. So then the question becomes, was Gibson Island at the time of this incident, was the entire island other than in individual owned property. So we're now talking about the corporation owned property, the private property of the corporation, to which the only people who have rights to that property are the shareholders of this corporation, and they have the right. And the rules of that are that off-leash dog parks are as follows. And these are the new rules. The corporation common area at the east end of St. Giles Road, bordering on Broadwater Way. Those have been clarified due to this incident and the Guy Sakala incident. But let me state that for decades, the entire island of private corporation property was considered a off-lease dog park.
All right, Mr. Berman, give me 1 second here. Mr. Lucy, you've had something you'd like to say. Please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The rules are not, they're in a corporation book and they're in a club book. The deeds since 1925, which are the deeds Mr. Burnham bought his house under, which we bought our houses under, are very clear that occupants of Gibson Island are stockholders in the HOA and occupants. You can be in a house for any reason, and their guests. What was done recently to try to say that all these rules, which do not follow Anne Arundel County law, all these rules are real. They just tried to restate them again and said that rather than, we're going to have areas that are unsecure, and this is what we're considering dog parks. Under the code, only Anne Arundel County can designate a dog off-leash park. An HOA under the code, and Mr. Brenzer will correct me if I'm wrong, says that it must be a secured area. And these areas are not secured. The corporation tried to come in and say, well, we're securing them by geography, topography, and natural features. There are no natural features. I went out this morning to confirm, in fact, that there were no natural features. Mr. Burnham was out there. He waved. I allowed him to walk in front of my car across the road. He got in his golf cart. He traversed just like his dog did back and forth because there are no natural features. It's very dangerous. It was dangerous Sunday morning. Again, I've said last time, and I've said when I talked on the 27th to everybody who was trying to codify this, I said, go to the county council, and if you want to get some sort of special exception for Gibson Island, get that done. But just because Gibson Island's done something or chooses to do something that's dangerous, I welcome being in court with my wife's medical records. Dr. Miles Varn was there, president of the club. That's not for this, but it's a dangerous area. Put your dog on a leash, please. Keep people and dogs safe. Thank you.
So, Commissioner.
Yes, sir.
Chairman, thank you. I guess then, Craig, we now have to litigate what constitutes a natural barrier. There is a natural barrier. It's called being an island. And as such, I would consider that, but if you don't consider it that, let's just go to court and we'll let a jury of our peers figure that out.
All right, we're not going to go back and forth on that right now, okay? We're here about the citation. So at this point, unless there's anything new to add about the specific incident that occurred on 10/17/2021, then I don't need to hear anything more at this point. Is there anything new to add to that? All right, in that case, we're going to go ahead and deliberate. So, once again, I'll begin again. I saw evidence on the day in question. The dog was off leash, not on his property. He never claimed it was on his property. It was obviously on the street, ran up to the man. I think it's clear we uphold. So that's where I'm at. Anyone else?
Yeah, I think we uphold. I mean, it's clear as day evidence.
Okay, everybody's in agreement. I'll take a motion.
I think that this is probably going to be an ongoing situation. And in my mind, what I see is, I have 6 acres here in Anne Arundel County. I cannot, myself say, everybody bring your dogs here and let them off the leash. And it seems like somewhere here, somebody has done that and certain people want to uphold it and other people want to fight it. But what we have in front of us today, yes, I agree with you, Tom. It needs to be upheld.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'll take a motion. I think I'll take your question. If you think differently, that's fine. But I gotta imagine you're on board.
I'm on board.
All right. So I mean, I'll take a motion at this point to uphold or deny.
I'll make a motion to uphold.
Okay.
I
Second.
All right. All in favor. All right. Paul, is that it for us for today?
That is it. Let me get you